Hey all, welcome to this week's video. It's a little late, so I may be a little slow. Started a new job, uh, part-time at a convenience store, a semi-national convenience store, minimum wage. But it is one of two, and the other one will be software intern. So both part-time. Not a lot of money or revenge, but hopefully it'll get money flowing and it'll make the family happy. So a bit of to talk to this week will be about depression, but before we get there, I would like to say a few things. Number one, if you didn't see on my Facebook page, my girlfriend is pregnant. Our child is due next February. I am completely out of spoons, so I'm really faking a lot of emotional reaction. I'm reacting the way people think I should, and she knows that. I have actually had some emotional reaction to this, and honestly, it was only when we were alone I finally felt safe enough I could just come out and say some of the things. She has been absolutely wonderful. She's freaked out. She's about 9 years younger than I am. But we're going to make this work. We have to. No choice. So, I'm happy. I've got parents that are like, whoa, cool, whoa. Family's freaked out. Friends are freaked out. Everyone's sort of happy and freaked out. So I guess I'll be happy and freaked out. Who knows? We'll see how this goes. So this week's video is about Asperger's and depression. I know, a little weird. I've been gone. I've been helping her moving and dealing with the relationship and the news of impending parenthood. And I come up with depression, but I figured it was appropriate. I don't have much work. I'm very low on funds. My vehicle is could use $400 to $500 worth of work, and that's just parts. Couldn't be with me the labor. I have 2 weeks. This will not be the background much longer, and I may be out of contact for a while because I have 2 weeks until I need to move out, and I may move in with her at a later date. But right now, that's not really an option. Um, so yeah, fun. And that was really depressing. I spoke of my ex-girlfriend, who's like my family, who's decided that for some reason I'm bad. Uh, as I spoke, she's a little nutsy sometimes. I love her and I miss her, but she's a little nutsy sometimes. So there was that. There was the grandma. There's been a bunch of things, and I got full on depressed. I was depressed for most of this year to date. And I go on to Google and I just Asperger's syndrome and depression, and there is a lot of stuff. Uh, but to sum up, yeah, Asperger's syndrome and ASDs suffer often from depression. And to quote an article that I will be putting in the video, it is unclear whether this depression emerges as a result of the struggles, exhaustion, rejection, and failure so often present in the life with Asperger's syndrome, or whether the mysterious neurology of Asperger's syndrome somehow invites or includes a hardwired affective disorder. That is a very lovely sentence, and I think that pretty much summed up my thoughts as well, and the thoughts of a few friends of mine who have Asperger's syndrome or autism spectrum disorders and have suffered from depression. They also too think, hey, wait a minute, maybe, there we go, a little bit better light. Maybe this is about basically how rough it was. Gee, if you had it our way, you'd be depressed too. Or maybe it's because we're just wired so strangely that depression sort of shows up. I honestly think that I'm going to be out for it again. So I believe that I will be depressed again, that it will show up, that there's nothing I can do about that. So I'm just going to have to be prepared for it. You know, my depression has gone into remission, but we're not out of the woods, kind of thing. I don't know if I'm depressed. I don't know if I'm not. I'm so zonked. Like I said, I had 3 days where basically I was running 18 hours a day on 4 hours of sleep, including work and helping her move. I crashed today for 10 hours sleeping. I'm about soon off to bed. And I'm gonna have to tell my girlfriend because if we stay together, which is sort of the plan at the moment, it's not sort of the plan, it is the plan, for a very, very long time, then I'm going to be like, oh, by the way, every now and then I go into a fairly depressive state, and there's nothing I can really do about it. I can kick his ass, and there's a lot of things that mess with me, but we'll go through it. Maybe I won't. Maybe just having a lovely woman in my life will do it for me. I don't know. It didn't work for a couple friends of mine. Maybe I'm different. Every Aspie is. So, what does that mean? That means that if you are depressed and you're an Aspie or an ASD, then it's pretty normal. You, you're where you should be. Now, should you fight it? Absolutely. Should you seek help? Whatever you feel is necessary. I was seeing a therapist. It really helped me, mostly because I could tell her things I couldn't tell anyone else. And that didn't beat the depression. Oh, excuse me. That didn't beat the depression. It beat the stuff that was weighing me down. There were a lot of things bugging me that because I could get them off my chest, I was then much more able to sorry, had to grab a Kleenex. I was much more able to deal with the depression because I had less on my plate. So I'm quite sure that everybody has a way that they can deal with it. Now, by deal, do I mean cure? Do I mean get over? No, I mean deal. I mean either like hit an equilibrium and make sure it doesn't get worse, or start to get better. You know, just deal with it. And I would say figure out like what makes you happy. Figure out what happens. Learning how to deal with that is very important. This is a drug called Roboxin, methocarbamol. Anyway, it's a muscle relaxant, and I got it from my doctor for my shoulders because they're injured, or they were injured. Anyway, they tense up and whatnot. And one of the lovely rare side effects is suicidal depression. And if I hadn't had the experience of willpower, building up willpower, and having gone through depression before as an Aspie, I would not be alive. There was a day when everything got up to a therapeutic dose in my system, and I suddenly realized that I was thinking very heavily about eating a gun. I didn't have a gun. I didn't have anything to kill myself with, thankfully. But I absolutely knew it was the drugs, and I absolutely knew it wasn't real. And I absolutely knew that in 9 hours, when the drugs had filtered out of my system, when this little medication had filtered out, I would be fine. And yet, it was a really crappy 5 hours. But because of that previous experience, being an Aspie and having Asperger's syndrome, and of having depression and knowing what that's all like, I was able to get through it. So in a way, knowing what I was facing helped me live. It was a rough 4 hours till I went to bed, and by the time I woke up, it was pretty much gone. By the end of the next day, it was. But yeah, so Aspies, we're getting kind of late on the time. To sum up, Aspies get depressed. It looks like we're going to get, from what I was able to read, it will happen throughout our lives. It's going to make us hard to deal with as friends, as coworkers, as parents, and as spouses. And it's those last two I'm desperately worried about because I'm going to be a parent, and I'm going to be doing this with a woman 10 years younger than me and pretty much twice as smart as me. You haven't met her. If you did, you'd love her. I love her. She's a really good thing, but I really do love her. And we're a great couple, and we're gonna make good parents. And the fact that she's so strong, she's strong where I'm weak, and I'm weak where she's strong, and we made up, and we're very strong personalities. But having good people around you that can trust you, having experiences, and knowing that it'll happen, and knowing that, oh, just get over it, that doesn't work. Oh, you're faking it, that doesn't work. Oh, that's crap. Oh, you're depressed. Okay, what can we do to ameliorate it? What can we do to moderate it. What can we do to put you on the path back to happiness? That may be going and doing certain things. Maybe that's drugs. Maybe that's like medication, antidepressants. It could give you enough of a finger hold on things to be able to climb your way back out. Maybe that's changing jobs. Maybe that's changing life circumstances. Maybe that's um, getting a new bed. Who knows what it is? It could be anything. Hopefully, the answer isn't. It wasn't. Nothing happened. It's rare that nothing can be done about depression, but it does happen. As far as I was able to find, again, not a professional, just a guy with a webcam. And do what you can, but understand that Aspies and depression, it goes together. Like I said, I have severe emotional handicap. When I get depressed, I get really depressed. Okay? I get really super seriously depressed. It's not fun. I'm either a little depressed or I'm not depressed. So that's joyful. Anyway, so you all have a good week. Sorry about this one. Sorry about if I rambled on. I'm going to link you to an article I found that in many, many ways expresses how I feel about it. There's a lot of things I disagree with, like, well, I don't like to be touched because of this, because of that. My girlfriend would be more than happy to tell you how little I like to be touched. Oh, it's terribly awful that she'll put her arm around me and pretty soon I'm collapsed asleep against her. I'm a huggy guy. Firm touch, not light touch, firm touch, and I dig it. So that's just gonna be one thing of many. When you read the article, she says doesn't like touching. This guy, he likes touching. So y'all have a good week. Bye.